Former NFL star Shannon Sharpe facing a $50 million lawsuit from a woman who alleged he sexually assaulted her multiple times between 2024 and 2025 following years-long abusive relationship. However, Sharpe's legal team has released a statement strongly denying the accusations and providing evidence that claims shows the relationship was consensual. All right. In a statement from counsel Lanny J. Davis, Sharpe's legal team asserted that the lawsuit filed by Gabrielle Zannigi is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. The statement claims the lawsuit is filed with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations and will not succeed. So let's get part of this statement out. Is you can see it here on the screen. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see right here. This is the full statement here, and it starts off pretty quick with it goes, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me. So this woman was a freak, allegedly, right? Because even as she's alleging he assaulted her, these are alleged text messages, right? So we don't really, because they didn't release text messages, they released a statement with quotes. So we have to allege it both ways. We have to be fair. So these are all alleged statements made by Gabriella. So that's pretty much the first part of that. So in the statement, according to the statement, Gabriella presented Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter, which the legal team believes has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Right? Now, that's wrong. Like, if you're out there secretly recording people editing videos, that is wrong, and that's potentially criminal charges the other way. If it's proven that this video is edited, she could be facing criminal charges and could possibly go to jail. And here's the thing. I know a lot of times, I don't know why guys who are falsely accused don't do this, or men, especially if you have money. I know it may be a hassle to go through that, but somebody needs, and I'm not taking a side here because I don't know what happened. I'm just saying in general, if you get falsely accused, and especially if you have the means to sue and you get lawyers, why the heck are you not pressing criminal charges against the person that falsely accuses you, regardless of who it is, if it's a man, a woman, whoever? I guess so. I just hear all the time where these civil suits get handled, they get under the table, they get, because I understand, like, when you're part of a brand or a company and they want this to go away quick because it could affect your bottom line. So they say settle it fast, or make a deal where, okay, we found out she lied, but we wanted it to go away. Let's just close it down. Because if you take, obviously, if it goes criminal, then it becomes another matter, and then you have to, the story drags on. But at that point, I think the press should be on your side, especially if you're going after a falsely accused person. Fuck the brand. Fuck what the companies say. If, because at some point you're like, shit, somebody needs to step up and say, you know what? I got to protect myself. I'm going all the way to the end. So even after it finds out that the person lied, now I want you to go to jail. Now I want you criminally charged. Now, there is another side of that can say, well, if you're the big bad wolf and you're able to put away or criminally charge people who falsely accuse you that may not have lawyers or anybody to fight, then it may prevent other women down the line from coming forward because they may be too scared, especially if they realize if it's found that they might have lied, or maybe the court may think they lied, right? So, but I think it is a tough spot there but I think if it's blatant, like in this case, this is the prime example. Like, okay, it'd be one thing like if a woman accused you of sexual assault, which is still terrible if you didn't do it. But if it didn't, if there was no other things involved, like maybe she didn't use someone to lie, like, like, or she didn't record you and edited videos. Like, if it gets to that point, we're talking about wiretapping, fraud, and all that stuff. When it gets to that type of stuff, I think there has to be a punishment if it's proven that you lied, edited videos, and that type of shit. If it's word of a he say, she say, okay, maybe you don't really go farther because technically, it's kind of harder to prove if the person even lied or not, because it'll be he say, she say, whatever the courts believe. But in a case where videos involved, edited video, selective video, witnesses or lying witnesses, if you could prove all that as a lie, I think the person definitely needs to be charged. And so we'll see. If this comes out to be false, as Shannon Sharpe's attorney and Sharpe is claiming, then I don't see any reason why this woman wouldn't be facing charges. Now, on the other hand, you got to be thinking, why would this woman make up, edit a video or make up a scenario? Is she that crafty to do that? Are there people behind her? Because if it's a heavily edited video, that means there are probably other people involved, right? Which means that if this is a blatant shakedown, that is an extreme way to go about it. Because if they prove that video is edited, that is a bad spot for her. It's almost game, set, match. Like, she definitely could be facing prison time, or should at least. But so why would she go through all that? Because she just blatantly just kept it verbal and not use other things to say, hey, he's actually assaulted me. Because it seemed to work with other women. They seem to get settlements. She might not have gotten $50 million, but she probably could have got a settlement. They probably would have settled for $5 million or $10 million, right? But when you go this length for an edited video, now you put yourself in a bigger spot. So I'm thinking that, would someone really go that far to if there isn't any type of truth to it? I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's move on. The allegations, to counter the allegations, Sharpe's team released several texts from Gabriella, which clearly indicates the nature of their relationship was consensual and sexual in nature. In many cases, initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Now, in these statements, they're put in the text messages, but we don't know who texts first, right? It's really hard to determine that. One text says, I know you miss this big juicy ass, $25K for each cheek. Like, what would come about that? There had to be a prior conversation before that. So we don't really know how these text messages start. Yeah, it could come off by him, right? We don't know. And this happened apparently on New Year's Day at 9:50 p.m. So the lawsuit is filed by Tony Bisbee, right? Everybody know who Bisbee is. Bisbee, he's all over the place with these lawsuits. He's out finding. So already right there, that's like, what's going on here? So let's see. The statement includes. And then, the statement goes on. So the statement includes examples of Gabriella's explicit messages, such as, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me, and I know you miss his big juicy ass, blah, blah, blah. The statements assert that the consensual sex between Sharpe and Gabriella continued until January 2nd of 2025, which was the day after she asked for $24,000 per cheek, as quoted above in her text message. Mr. Sharpe. The legal team claims there are other examples of text messages from Gabriella that further demonstrate the consensual nature of their relationship. Sharpe's legal team has vowed to vigorously defend the former NFL player against the allegations, stating that the lawsuit is a cynical attempt to extract a large financial settlement which will not succeed. The case is ongoing, and the public will likely be watching closely as it unfolds. So this is all the situation here. A lot of the text messages. Let's see if we can pull up some more here. There's some more statements from this situation. All these texts here. One says, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me." There's a lot of quote text, right? That text is from on November 23rd, 2023. So this woman they had a long relationship over time. So if these texts are accurate, right? So she's talking about back in 2023, she's talking about putting a baby gravy in me. And then later on, months later, she's talking about that's my daddy fuck. I want you to put a big black baby in me. So this woman was trying to get pregnant, allegedly, by Shannon Sharpe since 2023. And then August, you better crave it because it's going to be stuck with it for life. So this woman for a whole year was trying to get pregnant by this dude, according to the text. And so she was trying to get pregnant, and it didn't. I guess it failed, right? I guess it never happened. Maybe Shannon, he pulls out. Maybe he's shooting blanks. Who knows, right? Whatever the case may be, it happened. They've been trying. She's been trying to get it, right? Because look at the timeline here, like November, January, August, right? All these months, she just kept allegedly, right? Because according to the text. So, but if these texts are true, it doesn't sound like someone who was in an abusive relationship over a year's period, as she claims in the lawsuit, or even sounds like rape, because I just said the word. If that was the case, then So my guess is that she had recorded these encounters that they had, getting him because they already role played in text messages. So leading up to the event, so meaning that when they met up and continued the interactions in the bed, they would say stuff, and then it was recorded, and then she probably edited these clips out, different segments, to make it look like he was like, forcibly asserted himself. That's how it sounds. That would be my guess. Like I said, that's just me and my theory. I don't know. Because I'm also thinking, this, you have to go through a lot just to get to this point. And because if they had this long relationship of sexual encounters, she would have had a better chance getting pregnant. But maybe he couldn't. Maybe she realized this dude's shooting blanks. He can't. Or maybe she has an issue. Maybe she can't get a baby because she might have problems going on, and she figured, damn, we got to get to the next step. But all those videos, she was fairly consistent and determined, right? We talk about a relationship spanning over a couple years. She was really plotting. That's some dedication right there, right? Stringing this thing along and playing it along, figured the payoff was coming, because she couldn't have known that down the line he was going to get hit, because then he just signed a $100 million deal or something close to that. I think he just got a big contract. He's made more money than he did in the NFL, right? So she couldn't have known that years down the line he was going to be falling into this big money. So she must have been really plotting for something else. I think she was hoping for that baby, because that's where you really lock in, But I don't think he wanted her like that. He's thinking about his career. He's probably got other women that he's having fun with and stuff like that. And it's a crazy lawsuit, because I remember, like, even just like a few months back, people tried to make it seem like Sharpe was gay, right? Like, they were making fun of him. I remember with the video he did coming out of the SVU truck that went viral, and then they countered that back with him being caught on film with the Michelle girl when he was promoting the Viagra pill, whatever. So, this is crazy. I mean, this whole lawsuit is wild. I don't know what to think of this. I think that it's gonna have to play out in court. But my whole point is, like I said, I don't know if Sharpe is guilty. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. To me, there is a lot of holes in this, but we don't know. We have to wait until it goes to court. We have to see how. I would like to see how they're gonna. They need to, since they already know there's a heavily edited video. I think that is going to be the first step here to try to see if that video is edited. Because if it's edited in any way, I don't care if it's edited a little bit, that immediately crushes her credibility in the courtroom. Like, she has zero credibility. This is why it's completely dumb for anybody who would falsely accuse someone to create heavily edited video that could be proven that's edited. You better off just go in and say, hey, he sexually assaulted me, and make them prove that he say, she say, which usually turns out to be a settlement because you don't want to take a chance with the jury if you might be innocent or not. And you do like one of those undisclosed settlements where no one knows, they close it. But to go this far to an edited version with it, and then there's text messages that they have, if these text messages are true. So that will also, these text messages are damaging as well. Especially if in this case. But at the same, like I said, I don't know what Nevada laws are when it comes to this kind of stuff, because the lawsuit has been filed in Nevada. So I don't know if that was by design or if there's some kind of, if the situation happened in Nevada. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to pretend to be one here. I'm just saying that these things don't look good, but then if it's proven that it's false, it definitely doesn't look good for her. And I would hope that if they prove that this tape is heavily edited, she needs to be charged. That's all I'm saying. She got to be charged. And that would go a long way in telling me, okay, finally people are going to fight back. Because you can't continue to just be getting falsely accused that they're having payouts. Somebody's got to take a stand and say, you know what, fuck that, I'm going all the way. Prove my innocence, and you're going to be punished as well. Fuck the optics, fuck what people may think down the line, because this has to stop, right? This is damaging. Anytime someone sees it feels like, according to the responses online, it's kind of hard to judge, because if you're a fan of Shannon Sharpe, obviously you believe that he's innocent. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm like more of a outside looking in situation. I don't care if it was Shannon Sharpe or Shannon Jones or just a random dude named John Smith. I still would have the same opinion about this. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. He needs to be punished. If it's wrong, she needs to be punished, right? That's how I look about it. And that's how you have to look at these cases. Stop thinking, oh, it's a celebrity. I hate him, so he's automatically guilty, or I like him, so he's automatically innocent. No, we have to be fair and understand that the dynamics here. So we'll see what happens, and we'll keep an eye on this for more details coming up, and we'll see what happens.